Hi everyone, this is Dr. Merhaut. I'm here with Chris, our strength and conditioning coach in the Elite Performance and Fitness Center. Today with the Elite Education Series, we're going to be answering a question that was asked previous based on one of the other series that we did in relation to exercise myths. So one of the questions was, is it good to exercise past 30 minutes? You'll get a benefit exercising past 30 minutes. So we're going to talk a little bit about exercise frequencies, intensities, durations, and what's appropriate based on what your goals are. So first thing to bring up with just weight loss in general. So if I'm looking to lose weight, or my goals are that I want to lose weight, gain a little bit of muscle mass, what's appropriate for time frame?
Time frame that we're going to be looking at is going to be right around that 30 minute to an hour mark. For weight loss, we're more concerned with getting as much as we can done in that time frame. So it can be very intense, but the more intense it is, the lower time we're going to spend, because we can't go for too high of an intensity for too long, just because our body can't be at that level for that high. Then what we're going to try and do is, if we're trying to gain muscle, we're going to look in that 30 minute to 45 minute range of trying to make sure that we're trying to be intense, but at the same time we don't want our cortisol levels to go up too high, because then all of a sudden that's going to start breaking down our protein, and that's the whole idea, is that we want to make sure that our body is in an anabolic state and not so much of a catabolic state. So we want to grow muscle, we don't want to take muscle away from our body for energy. And then pretty much what we're looking at is that 30 minute to hour range for kind of both those, but the difference is going to be the intensity level. If we want to, like you said, weight loss, then we're going to try and make sure that we're going to spend as many calories as possible during that time frame. If we're trying to gain muscle, then we're going to be looking right around that 30 minute to 45 minutes, just so that we don't have the onset of cortisol coming in and kind of taking away all the benefits that we want.
Okay. But if I'm a beginner and I'm still trying to, my goal is weight loss, is that 30 minute mark still appropriate?
You're going to be varying. That 30 minute mark is probably going to be more ideal for you, because if you're coming in day one, first time ever, then you're going to be very sore no matter what. And if we can get you to get in here and get a lot done, accomplished in that 30 minutes, you're going to be sore. If we went to an hour, you probably may not be coming back in here anytime soon, just because you're going to be so sore the next day that it's going to take you a while to recover. But we can still do a lot in a 30 minute time frame, so that we can make sure, one, we're hitting our gains, but two, also you're getting a good quality workout in that time frame. So being a beginner is also another big part. Is that 30 minute mark ideal for everyone? It depends. It's going to be accounting on what's your training level status, if we're including a warm-up in that, including a cool-down in that. So there's a lot of other things. So you could be here for 40 minutes, but we could have 5 minutes on the front end where we're warming up, 5 minutes on the back end cooling down, and then that 30 minutes of a hard or intense workout, or just learning a lot of things at the same time in that 30 minutes if we're a beginner.
So kind of along the same lines, but my goals are to train for a marathon, or I want to become a runner and increase that my cardiovascular and endurance training. What's the goal for that?
The goal is going to be, you're going to split it up into different days. You're going to have days where you're going to go for a long, slow distance run, where that could be up to an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on what event that you're training for. If you're training for a half marathon or a marathon, you're going to have to train more than a half hour, because the actual event that you're training for, or the obstacle course challenges, those things could be longer than a 30-minute run. But at the same time, you're also going to have days in the training where it's going to be more intense. You're going to do more of a high intensity, you're going to do more interval trainings, so that your body can get adapted to pushing itself a little bit harder, hitting a lactate threshold, trying to get past that a little bit more. And then at the same time, you're also going to have days where it's going to be a bit of a mix, where you're going to go for a longer distance duration. The intensity is going to be about medium, and then we're going to try and make sure that we can hit the actual event total at the end of the day.
Cool. There you have it. Expert advice from Chris, our strength and conditioning coach here in the Elite Performance and Fitness Center. I'm Dr. Merhaut. Thanks for tuning in for this week's Elite Education Series. Hope you join us next week.